Nerk could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerk could rise up. It could get elevated.
Happy day past Star
Nerk
Wars Day. May
used
the
to be
4th
just a
be
made-up
with you,
word.
but now
These
it's
shied away from
what day?
Is it Revenge of the Fifth?
Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the 5th. Revenge of the Sith. Yep.
Yep, Revenge of the Fifth.
Happy Revenge of the 5th Day, everyone.
Mhm.
So, as you may have, we'll give you our PSA here. You may have noticed we didn't record last week. We had some extremely rough weather that
Very.
knocked Kyle's internet out for a couple days.
Yeah, that was an interesting night. So if anybody that's listening was like hanging out with us in stream last Saturday night, because we were playing some good old spooky games, the timing of it. So Chris is like, "Hey, it's about to get bad at your place," and like, I don't hear any tornado sirens, and then I get a phone call from my kid's mom. They're like, "Hey, the tornado sirens are going off." Like, it wasn't 10 seconds apart, maybe. I'm like, all right, well, I gotta go. And it
It's
was
a good thing you did.
It got wicked that night. We're kind of bypassing our intro just to give you guys some, stuff of what happened and where we got put behind. I actually was in the basement from about 10:30 until about 1 o'clock in the morning, off and on. So we had some really severe weather that came through where I live in Oklahoma. We didn't get it as bad as some of the other parts of the state that night. That was I can't remember the number of confirmed tornadoes that were on the ground that day, but
It
it
was
was
up to
like
30.
it was up to 30.
Mm-hmm.
And we had either the strongest or the second strongest pass about. I was showing Chris the map earlier, about a mile and a half from my house. And so we live here. We live in this.
He
We
dodged a wind bullet.
a bad one. And we, Chris and I, we live in this. For you guys that aren't from around here or outside the tornado alley area, we're kind of used to it for the most part.
Still, it sucks. It still
sucks. And we're like, hey, it's getting bad, be weather aware, all that stuff. This was the most freaked out I've ever been during a tornado warning, because I've had them closer than this. But we were down in the basement, me, the kids, their mom, their like cousin, like everybody came to our house, because like at that point it didn't matter. Like, everybody just finds a hole and gets in it. And so we're sitting in the basement, and
sounds like a good date.
It was a terrible one. My kid's mom she's actually a deputy, so they had their cop radio on, and so we lost power. We lost internet, then we lost power, and so we had no way of really keeping up with the storm, because we're in the basement, not good cell phone service, radios weren't working, so we got to listen to the cop radio while it was going off, and it was insane, the chatter that was going on there. And then we heard them call for all emergency personnel to take shelter. They shut down 911 calls. That whole center had to get down basically in the old jail. And so we're sitting in the basement. You could hear the sirens and stuff going off, and it's rainy. You could hear the frogs, and then everything stopped. It was the most eerie, dead silence you could ever imagine, because looking at the radar, we could see that it was like coming towards us, and we knew it was going to get close. And any of you guys that have ever sat through one, like, if it's loud and it's rainy and it's windy or whatever, like, it's bad. But when it stops, when it's not supposed to stop, that's scary. I remember looking at my kid's mom. I'm like, "Hey, do you hear that?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Exactly." And I mean, the frogs stopped doing their little froggy, chirpy, barky stuff. The rain stopped. The wind stopped.
You don't hear any birds. It's eerie.
It was eerie. So that's the spookiest that I've ever sat through one. So we had a very strong EF3. I think they said borderline EF4 pass about a mile to a mile and a half from my house. It did do some damage and stuff on the outside of town. A few injuries and 2 fatalities in our town. Some of the other towns.
It was bad that night. Yeah, that night.
It was bad. It was bad. And and we're supposed to get another round in the next few days. So like, fingers
Tomorrow.
crossed. Like everything kind of holds. I lost internet for I think 4.5 days. I lost power for a day and a half, and so we're kind of out in BFE. If we lose internet, which is a good possibility if we get another strong round of it. I mean, there are poles and stuff down. The system's weak right now anyway. So there's a chance that if I get hit again, I'm going to be internetless again. So just prep you guys ahead of time for that.
So we'll be even more behind. Bad Batch actually ended last week. So we're on episode 9 here. We're going to try our damnedest to get caught up.
We're on 9 or 8?
9.
9.
8 was last week. Yep.
There's a 9er. Now we're on the
9er.
Harbinger.
Harbinger.
Did I say that right? I always feel like I say that wrong.
No, you said it right. I always say it wrong. Harbinger.
The Harbinger?
It just sounds a hardbanger. It just sounds like you're drunk or high.
The Harbinger.
Damn, Harbinger. I got a Harbinger. Want to see? Want to see Harbinger? I just got a text from B-Rob that said it better be better than last time.
The episode?
Yes.
He can.
He didn't like we called him out.
Oh, he can start his own podcast then. That's fine. Do that, B-Rob.
Take that, B-Rob. Yeah, so we're gonna do our best to try and maybe, if we can, knock out a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Not gonna promise, but we're gonna try so we can move on to something else. So, welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerddom. I'm not going to be the high energy welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerddom since, we started off with a tornado story.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It was a good one, but I'm Chris.
I'm Kyle, and if you guys like to hang out with us, there's a link in the show notes down below for the Discord. Discord is a totally free application. We have, you can join our Discord server down there. Lots of conversation going on about anything and everything that you may or may not be interested in. So check that out. Everything from video games, anime, ball sports, movies, TV shows, you name it, we got it. You can talk about it. We're about to, sometime in the next week or so, maybe go through a revamp of consolidating some channels and stuff, just make it flow a little easier. There's a lot of stuff out there. A lot of stuff. So you guys check that out, totally free. If you want to hang out with Chris and I live and in person, we both stream on Twitch. Chris over there under Guyver Unit 01, GUIVERUNT01. Myself under KSIG, K_SIG. We stream horror games, indie games, community games, just whatever we can fit the number of players that happen to be playing with us that week. So check that out. Yeah, I think that's all the things.
That's where we are. So with that, we're going to get straight into episode 9 of the Bad Batch season 3, the final season, the Harbinger.
Harbinger.
Harvey Wallbanger.
This is a good episode. I really liked it.
Yeah, I like this one too.
I'm pulling up all my source material over here.
Let me mute this. There we go. Because I had the music in my ear. We're now on the island of Montanui. It's not Montanui. We're back on the peaceful island that they so love and enjoy. What's the name of the island again?
Oh, crap. You're going to ask me. Pabu.
Pabu, that's right. It's where they
Pabu.
first met Fee and everyone else. I forgot to bring up my Easter egg. Episode 9.
Yeah, I'm pulling all those up here.
The reason we do this is not because we don't know things. That's part of it.
There's so much stuff.
There's just so much, and it's good to get another perspective of it. So, okay, so they're on Pabu. This is just such a good episode. Wrecker is helping with a fishing boat, and so is Crosshair. And they thank Crosshair and Wrecker. This little fisher lady is, she's going off, and Wrecker's like, "Oh, look at that! You made a new friend." And Crosshair's basically like, "Fuck off."
Pretty much.
And then we see Hunter come up, and Hunter's like, "I checked the ship's comms. We haven't heard from Fennec. If you remember, Fennec said, "I'll be in contact. I'm going to get a hold of my contact to get a hold of you all for the intel you need." And they're asking Hunter, why are we waiting around? This isn't us. We'd go get the intel.
Mhm.
And Hunter's like, well, I mean, she's the only lead we have. We don't really have any choices. And he doesn't. You can tell he doesn't sound happy with it.
Mhm.
And they're still trying to figure out why the Empire is targeting Omega and what an end count is. And Hunter's like, we can't prepare. We don't know what we're dealing with. So yes, we need to sit here and wait. Next thing you know, Omega's walking on a beach, throwing a stick for Batcher, and it's kind of off in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you knew this is automatically ominous. Like,
Yep.
automatically not going to be good.
Nope.
Running the beach, chasing Batcher, and there's she comes upon a little cave. They're chasing some Munoz, and Batcher starts like acting weird, like doing her weird little sniffy thing, just like a dog that senses danger, right? And Omega like picks up on it and is trying to like, hey, we've been here, before several times, so that's like obvious something bad's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. We know something bad's going to happen.
We've seen this. We know something bad's going to happen. And so Omega goes, like, whips out her little flashlight, looking through the cave, saying, and it's that cool little cave, and they see a ship. Did you recognize the ship?
I did not. I should have. I kicked myself after we found out who it belonged to.
Yeah, I figured you would. I knew the name, and she looked familiar.
Right. I knew who it was right when we saw her.
Yeah.
And from like Batcher's barking at the cave entrance, Omega turns on and is like, what's wrong? And then she turns around and someone's walking up. It's a very pale white lady, tall white lady with little tattoos.
Yep.
Like a ventriloquist dummy for her mouth.
Yep. She runs into
hair.
basically Space Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers. Ow! Ow!
Oh God, the M count.
Oh God.
The M count is so high.
It's so high. I told him, get your M count away from me. It was Asajj Ventress.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen Ventress since the Clone Wars.
No, I mean, she was in several episodes too. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
She's a great character. Yeah,
actually more than that. I missed a couple.
She's been in a lot.
Yeah.
She was Dooku's Padawan, basically. She is also, for those who don't know, she's I'm gonna see if I'm gonna butcher this. Dathomirian. She's a Dathomirian. That's her race. And then she's been a Night Sister. Her mom was the whatever they call the head Night Sister of their planet. She was the head of that order. So yeah, okay, here's another flashback. She was a Jedi Padawan under Jedi Knight Kai Nerk. And then, yeah, she was taken in by Dooku to be a Sith assassin.
Mm-hmm.
She was also a commander in the Confederacy of Independent Systems military. Now she's a bounty hunter. She's had a lot of jobs.
So Kai Nerk, I butchered that, was her Jedi Master. Darth Tyrannus, Sith Master. Also Dooku. I always forget that that's his Sith
Darth name. Yeah. How fitting is it that we're doing basically a former Sith on Revenge of the Sith?
Ooh, it works.
Yeah,
it works.
The guys are looking with Batcher, looking for Omega, and out from the cave comes Ventress holding Omega's arm. She finally lets her go. And she says, for rogue clones who are trying to lay low, You're failing spectacularly. She still speaks the same. Especially that one. She's pointing to Wrecker.
She should still be the same. Speak the same.
Well, I mean, like, not. She still speaks like she's talking down to them, like still like a Sith. When she was the assassin, had all the power and stuff.
Mhm.
She's still stronger than them.
She is, and you would think that they would. I mean, I know they never did like come across her, but they would like have some idea who she possibly could be. They don't until later.
No,
But
I mean, surely there was rumbles in the underground. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
well, I guess if they never actually saw her, then that would make sense.
Like a ghost.
Yeah. Speaking of, my face keeps getting washed out even more and more the longer we go. I don't know what's going on with this thing.
Kyle's in his rich Asian lady face right now.
I'm in my over Snapchat looking filtered phase. My camera and my ring light are having fits the last couple of days, so I don't know what's going on with that. This is what
Kyle's
you get.
just not having a good week and a half here.
It has not been. I've had better.
They basically ask her, they said, we didn't give you our coordinates. How'd you find us? And she's like, Finnick sent me. Basically, she's like, I have my ways. I've heard you've been asking questions about in count. This is very important. She says, very reckless to inquire about such things because we are in the time when the Jedi were hunted down. Anyone with an in count, we know the Empire is going after with the Inquisitors. So that's why Ventress is telling them that.
This is
like it attracts the wrong kind of attention.
Yeah. This is her post Inquisitor time, right? Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I had to think for a second.
Or assassin time. She's like, first, tell me what all this
do you
information.
ever actually stop assassinating though? Like once, like,
I mean, you can live to slay another day.
I guess.
Well, I mean, if you're not assassinating people anymore, I guess
Still had the potential.
she's got no more ass.
Nope. Assless.
She's assless. She should wear chaps. Hunter's like, we already paid Finnick for the intel. He thinks that they're square. And she's like, not my problem. Either talk or I go. This is her payment. And I love how Hunter crossed his arms and then Wrecker looked at him and crossed his arms too. He's like the little brother, like that Boney M meme. It's like, girls, we're gonna start a band. Mom, take your brother. You're just following along with what they do.
I'm kind of looking at some stuff over on her here while we're going through the episode that she was mostly bald, I guess, when she was in her Sith phase.
Yep, she was bald.
And so when I guess it's kind of alluding to when she has hair, is more her disassociated with that. Like the bald was when she was Sith, the hair
The assassin.
is yeah. Pretty cool images of her.
She's cool. She's cool. She's a great character. She's a very complex character. If you haven't watched any of the episodes about her, if you're curious, go back, watch Clone Wars. It'll tell you all about her. And there, basically, Omega says she has a friend. The Empire's after her because some sort of M count thing. We don't know what that means. And Ventress like, it's something in the blood. She explains what the M count is. Everyone has it, but at varying levels. And she's like, those with the highest M counts were believed to be more capable of wielding the Force.
And I like how she doesn't really show her hand at all through all of this. And I still, even at the end of the episode, I still wasn't totally sure, where her allegiance is, what her angle was. Yeah. And I like that it leaves you a little bit wondering.
Ventress's angle, I think now, is just herself.
Yeah.
It's no allegiance to anyone.
Yeah, and
okay, she's a bounty hunter now.
Says something similar to that later on too.
And they're like, the Force, do you mean Jedi? And then Omega, you can tell here's where her age comes in. She goes, "You're saying I'm a Jedi? I mean," and she's like, "No, you're not. Your blood doesn't make you a Jedi. You'd have to be trained for that." And she's like, "I've never known a clone to be Force sensitive." But she's like, "None of you are normal."
She's really good at stating the obvious as
Yeah,
well.
she is. She goes, and then she said, "But the Kaminoans made millions of you, so I guess it's possible. But if you do have a high M count, consider yourself warned." So, like you said, she's not showing her hand, but she's showing her knowledge.
Mhm.
She's like, the Empire will hunt you down. Just, there's your intel. See ya. Starts walking back to the ship. Omega gets in front of her and she's like, "Wait." Yeah, it's just the interaction. She's like, "Move." She's like, "Why has the Empire been after me?" She's like, "I can't determine your midichlorian count without testing you." She's like, "Test me, I can take it." And then she's
Mhm.
like, "Believe me, the truth is rarely comforting." So as she knows.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's been through both sides and like everywhere in between.
Yeah. And it's this scene, the whole scene's just basically her just begging Ventress to test her. And Ventress like, "Fine, but you've been warned." So the first test she gives her is about balance and letting go of your conscious mind. Um Omega's trying to concentrate but she doesn't really have good balance.
Yes, doing some very Yoda Luke stuff right now.
Oh, absolutely. And Karate Kid.
And Karate Kid. Yep.
And William Tell. Was that who shot the apple off the head?
I'm just waiting for her to sweep the leg. Sweep the leg, Omega.
Sweep the leg. Here comes Johnny. She's like, "Let go of your conscious mind." She's like, "Conscious mind, I don't even know what that is." And she slips and basically falls and the apple goes down. And Ventress like, "Try it again." Wrecker's cheering her on. "Come on, Omega, you can do it.
You got it.
You got it." And Ventress like, "Make yourself scarce." She's like, "Make like a tree and leave."
That would have been.
So Omega keeps failing. She grabs the apple pear strawberry thingy. She's like, "Try it again." Like, "Were you a Jedi?" She's like, "No, but I knew some other ways." And Omega's like, "But how do you?" And she grabs her other face, pushes it forward. She's like, "Concentrate."
Looks like one of those fruits that Yoshi eats.
Wee, whoop.
Mm-hmm.
And then poops out an egg.
Yep. She's got the little Yoshi fruits on her head.
It does, doesn't it? Or a gum fruit.
Oh, ooh. Oh, we got the crossover now.
Yeah, that would be awesome. What did they say right there?
Oh my God, it does look like a gum fruit, kind of.
I told you. Less bumpy. Crosshair came over. I checked text files in the Republic archives. You were right. It's her. And then they showed the old picture of Ventress, Asajj Ventress.
Mhm.
Ventress hears him. She's like, like, why wouldn't a separatist assassin be here? And they're distrustful right now. They're like, who knows? And Ventress hears them talking.
Checking
She's
out
like,
her
"I'm
profile
right
on
here."
her profile on Only Siths.
Only sis.
Mhm.
It's with her with no head.
Yeah.
Or no hair. Omega keeps slipping. She's like, "It's too slippy.
It's so slippy.
It's so slippy." It's like, "I'll start over," as Ventress helps her up. She's like, "No need. We're moving on to the next test."
I wondered if Omega was going to try to have her hair after this. As
Crash and burn, Mav.
she's close. If she shaved the side, she would have Ventress hair.
She kind of would, wouldn't she?
Oh, she would. Yeah, she's got the little side part flop over thing. Like oh, what's his name?
Side part
Hold on.
flop over guy man.
No, she's got oh my God.
An uncle.
Give me a second here. I'll tell you whose hair she has. I forgot his name.
Tooth fairy.
No,
Travis Kelce.
she's got Brad Taylor hair from Home Improvement.
Oh, she does, doesn't she?
There's the boy. That's who I was trying to. I couldn't think of his name.
Okay,
Total
that's
Brad
actually-
Taylor hair.
That's actually really good. That's a good reference.
Mhm.
Her next test is to get a white. Is it a white lotus?
It was a white.
White blossom from the Weeping Maya tree. Very top of the hill before sunsets, and sun's already setting. It's almost down if you
Yep.
look. Mega's like, it's too far away. Well, and I think the sun's already setting. And Ventress just looks at her and she's like, okay, I'm going. And she
Fine.
runs. I didn't say anything. I hate school. She runs. And Ventress goes, now that she's gone, let me give you some advice. Whatever you're planning on doing won't end well for you. And they
Stares
just
off into
kind
the
of look at
sunset.
her. It is really pretty. And then she's like, think carefully. How do you want this to go? Because you could tell that they were trying to fight her.
Mhm. Yeah, she's like, this is not a good idea.
No, not at all. And there's Omega just running through town. And she's like, hinge, hinge, hinge. And then she
Doing
looks. There's
the
Badger
Rocky
chasing
run.
them. Yeah, the monkeys.
She needs Eye of the Tiger playing behind her as she makes her way up.
Or the Animaniacs. Don't know what to say. The monkeys won't do. Okay, she said, okay, let's go. Batcher helps her. She mounts Batcher and rides him. It's like a little monkey riding a dog. Like, that's before we realized who you are. You know, you need to leave. And Venture's like, I'll consider it once I finish testing Omega's abilities.
Mhm.
And the bats just kind of look at each other. And she's like, or maybe I'll stick around a little bit longer. She's just poking at him now. Wrecker's like, wrong, get in your ship and go, or we're going to make you go. And she's like, I'd like to see you try. Okay, thought.
Okay.
Wrecker should have Randy Newman's singing voice. You know what I mean? Get in your ship and go. I don't like heights. Things go boom.
You just have to deal with all the Ewoks. Short bears. Short bears.
Funny little bears walking and picking bugs. Left foot, right foot. The that's a Randy Newman clone.
There should be one. He's pretty close.
He really is. They draw their blasters on Ventress and she force pulls them. She's like, no cheating. They attack her. And thing is, she was an assassin. She was one of the top assassins. She's just way too fast. Like, they do one punch and she's doing 2 spins around him.
You got me looking up Randy Newman songs.
I love it, Ray.
I forgot how controversial some of his are. He had some pretty controversial songs. Anyway.
Yeah. So they're fighting, and Ventress is basically kicking all their asses.
She's
She does
so
this flip,
fast.
and she does this Macho Man Randy Savage elbow onto Hunter, or it was Wrecker. She's got a crosshair and a arm bar.
Go for the figure fjord. Figure fjord? What?
Figure fjord. That's the Dutch
sweet-
figure four.
In
The figure fjord.
Swedish Impact Wrestling.
Hey, yeah, it's good.
He's got that in a figure fjord.
Figure fjord. Oh no, what does that mean? That means lots of dikes. Land of many dikes.
Well, never mind.
I know where you're going.
Dodging the low-hanging fruit. That's all I'm doing because it's there.
That's all you. She's got Hunter's vibro knife, and she's just looking. She throws it at his feet, and she's like, and then you see Crosshair's got a gun on her. She's like, not happening.
He should have. Oh, excuse me. We thought he would have been quicker with the gun. Like,
Yeah.
Also, I'm running about 5 seconds behind whatever you're watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm trying to play
does
keep
that.
up. We're doing good. We're making it.
They basically say she defeats them and orders them to stand down, and Hunter says, we're not good at following orders,
Mm-mm.
which is their thing. We know this.
Yeah. We got to be all edgy about it.
Yep. Omega's still riding Batcher.
And so she finds the tree and the one white flower. How did Ventress know that was there? And she's just been like wandering around the city. Like, how would nobody know? Like, she would have had to have laid eyes on that flower,
Right.
I would think. Like, unless
That's
she
what I would
has
think too.
odd botanical knowledge that we don't know about. Like, maybe that's her hobby on the side, but like, she's not going to blend in very well at all.
Nope. Hold on, let me look this up.
Okay.
Because I think I remember, but I don't know if
Unless it's something to do with her
it's her saber.
force sensitivity.
Uh
Could have been. Used her force visions.
if I remember right, her lightsabers used to be red.
It's yellow. That's what I was
It's
looking
yellow
at.
now.
Yeah. She has a yellow one. I was trying to
Hold
see
on.
anytime she had a red.
I can't remember if they're red or not. What color?
She did dual blades at one time.
Yeah, no, that was during Clone Wars when she was an assassin. Yeah, they were red.
She had the curved ones too.
Yeah, they were awesome for assassination. Now she's got a yellow one. So the story behind that is Padawan Barriss Ophi stole the lightsabers that she had used when she was an apprentice to Count Dooku. She got a yellow bladed one on the black market.
Oh,
So yellow ones, if I remember right, that's the color of Guardians.
wait, you can just get a black market lightsaber?
Apparently.
Huh.
Yellow suggests balance over light or dark. So it's balance. Ventress also saw getting a different lightsaber as distancing herself from the Sith.
Does that balance make sense? So she's, neither dark nor light. She rides the fence.
She's just
Or-
Ventress.
Or, dances to her own tune. She's very acrobatic though.
She is. She's like, I wasn't planning on killing you. Notice her lightsaber's still curved, but she's like, you're making it very tempting. Wrecker's like, we're really good at that.
Mhm.
Next thing you know, we see Batcher riding Omega coming up with the flower. She's like,
Or
I got
Omega
the white
riding
blossom.
Batcher. The
Oh,
other
that
way
too.
around would be weird.
That would make a much better story.
I like how when she like shows up, that Ventress has like them all basically held
She has
to the
Wrecker
side.
she's force choking him.
Force choking Wrecker. She's got a lightsaber at Hunter's throat. And she's like, what happened? It's like when you leave the party for like 10 minutes, you come back and there's just like stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Like a fight had broke out. There's people doing cake. Like, what happened in the 5 minutes I was gone? Can't leave you guys alone at all.
You
Kids start fighting.
clones.
Yeah.
But she
Trusser knocked out, or is he's hurt?
he's hurt. And she's like, what's going on? And she's like, she's a war criminal. She's like, times have changed. Sometimes you clones should be something you clones should be familiar with. And Hunter's like, we're not the same. She's like, no, we were pawns in the same war. It's interesting. She thinks that her and the clones were pawns.
Yeah. She's
She's
got a
like,
good
"And
realization.
we all lost."
I mean, she's not wrong.
No, not at all.
No, she knew that they got played.
Yeah, and she's like, I am many things. Father, lover.
Good little scene cut, the good wipe.
Yeah.
I still love that they do those types of scene transitions, like the wipes, just from the old original
Yep.
Star Wars. The very basic scene transitions, very basic scene wipes that
Back to the basics.
You don't even really realize that's just a part of it because you're used to seeing it so much.
Mm-hmm. And then basically they're talking, and Omega's like, maybe we should trust her. And Crosshair's like, you're being naive. And she's like, I never gave up on you, did I? And he gave pause.
Mhm.
She's like, I say we give her a chance. And then next thing you know, there's Ventress looking out, and Omega's walking up to her with Batcher. And she goes, no chaperones today. I said, nope. You said no distraction.
Mhm.
Batcher's just looking at Ventress and smiling and sitting down.
Yeah, now Badger's happy about it.
Now he's happy. Now she's happy.
Mhm.
She's like, I'm surprised you came to see me. They must have told you about the things that I've done. She's like, they did, but you also stuck around instead of leaving. So I think you're trying to help me. And you
it
like
was
us, I
odd
can
how
tell.
she was smiling. Like, they told me all the things that you did.
But I'll take it.
Awkward smile, but yeah.
She's like, I'll do anything you want. She's like, well, you failed the first test. She goes, but the second, that has to mean something, right? And Venture's like, we'll see.
Yeah.
She's just walking down to the little gondola. She's like, get in. Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
Going shopping. That's just the rest of the episode. They go and they get get some coffee.
They dance to Jingle Bell Rock.
Be odd this time of year.
They dance. They won't let anyone sit at their table. They wear pink one day.
Okay, never mind. I see where you're going.
Oh yeah,
On Wednesdays.
on Wednesdays they wear pink.
Yeah.
So I guess today was your day.
There's a group of kids at the school. I've heard them say it several times. Like it'd be Wednesday and they're wearing pink. It's like, oh, pink. On Wednesdays we wear pink. Oh my god!
You should do it just so they'll stop wearing.
I don't have anything pink. Guess I
We
gotta
need to
get
change
something.
that
I only got 1 week of school left anyway, so it doesn't matter.
for next year.
For next year.
She's like, Omega asks her, they're out in the middle of the ocean. She's like, what are we doing here? And Venture's like, many who wield the force have an affinity for nature. Which I found this is interesting.
I didn't even think about that. And it does make sense with how well like Omega is connected with, she's
Right.
basically like Jedis are basically like Dr. Doolittle's.
Dr. Jed Littles.
Little things. Yeah.
Ventress tells her, reach out with your feelings, concentrate on, and she's like, on what? She's like, everything. Omega closes her eyes, very like Star Wars thing to do.
Yeah.
Her hands out. And then all of a sudden you see Wrecker, Hunter, and Crosshair all looking out with binoculars, basically. She's like, I don't like this. We should be out there with her. And if you look, it looks like Wrecker's binoculars are upside down.
Probably.
And he's peeping on her.
She's defying gravity.
She's defying gravity. What's going on? And he zooms in on Omega. Then he zooms in on Ventress. And she turns her head and she looks and gives him this frown. Shows she knew that they were watching. Wrecker's like, how did she know that we were watching? Well, you're breathing heavily on the phone, Wrecker. Omega's here we are. Omega's basically just given up. She's like, this is hard. I don't want to do this anymore.
I just give it, which is not much like her, just to like throw in the towel. It's weird.
Mm-mm.
This whole thing with her just like giving up on it more than once. It struck me as odd because that's not Omega normally.
No. Maybe she's just frustrated.
Maybe just tired. A tired little Omega.
Tired Omega. And Omega's basically like, this is just too hard. And Venture's like, well, since this is how you feel, maybe we're done.
Mhm.
And it's just back and forth banter. She's like, why should I listen to you? Ventress looks at her, steps onto this little platform, holds her hand out, and uses the force.
That's now got the force rumbling part. So
The force rumbly tumblies.
yeah. They do a lot of stuff out in the water on this planet too. Like, and it never goes good.
Mm-mm.
Ever.
No, not at all.
Well, it's cool to get the little green glowy jellyfish flowing by. So Ventress is able.
Gelatinous cube jellyfish.
And so Ventress is doing, her fish person stuff right
thing.
now.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically she's Aqua Lady at
She
this
is
point.
Aqua Lady.
Mhm.
Just more pale.
Just more pale.
And they're like, all the fish go out, and then Omega's like, where'd all the fish go? And out pops this giant rhino whale thingy.
What
and
is
eats
that?
all the fish.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know. It didn't say. But
A
pops
large
up.
turtle-like creature with tentacles. That's all they call it
Oh, it's a sandworm
in the ocean.
in the ocean.
Mhm.
I mean, kind of looks like a sandworm. It does look like a turtle, doesn't it? Like with no neck, and like, I don't know.
I
like
had a thought about it
radioactive drool coming down.
when I first saw this, and I can't remember. Man, I should have wrote it down because it was funny.
Thank you for teasing us with that and not
Crap.
giving us any funny.
I know it was good too, and I didn't write it down, and I'm disappointed in
You
myself.
should have. Jot it down on your phone next time.
Probably. I was just happy that I had internet to be able to watch stuff.
Yeah, that too. So you get a pass.
I get a pass. It's a little beaky beak, snippy snapping out there.
Snippy snip. So now they're driving back because that turtle thing with tentacles is trying to get them, and it slaps the water. They jump out of the boat involuntarily. We see the batch taking off in the Marauder.
Another rescue mission at sea.
Uh-huh. Next thing you know, Omega goes down in the water.
Imagine Wrecker as they get out there on, we're sailors on Pabu.
I'll get my lime juice on you. Like, what? Scurvy!
I got scurvy.
I got the scurvy. Look, here's my tooth. Wrecker loses all his teeth in Pabu and becomes like a gold mine prospector, old timey. One tooth. Names it Old Champa. Okay. You're probably not in the part I'm at right now.
I just see Omega underwater going like this.
Yep, that's it. Doesn't she look like those old pictures of the sea monkeys that you used to order from in the comic? Does she not? Like, look at her hair and the little chubby cheeks. Does she not look like it right now?
She does look like a sea monkey.
Like, I want to order her for $14.99. Watch her grow in my tank. So, yeah. Omega's underwater. Ventress pulls out her saber, and she's pulling off some moves underwater. Cuts off the tentacle. Does a flip. Gets Omega, brings her back up.
Cartwheel.
Here comes the turtle beast with its eyes.
It made me think of something, and I'm not sure what it was.
Tentacle porn?
Maybe.
Probably not, but maybe. So here's the Marauder. They're saving him. They're shooting at this creature, but it doesn't seem like that creature's getting any damage.
No.
Ventress like, they're making things worse. And Omega goes, Hunter, stop firing. Ventress can handle it. And they're like, yeah, no, doesn't look like it.
It kind of looks like it could be a Godzilla monster, like a
Gamera.
This is really bugging me that I can't remember what.
Not Monster Zero, not Rodan.
Well, I can't remember what the funny joke thing was that I thought of when I saw this.
Still on that.
It's bugging me so much.
Okay, here's what I liked on this part too. The creature's holding Omega up to its face, or Ventress up to her face. She's holding her hand up. She touches it. If you look at its shell, see it doing like the squid thing, changing colors. And then it sets her back. This is what she was talking about. I guess proof's in the pudding. Seeing is believing. Omega puts Ventress back, and she's like, "You did it." And Ventress like, "Don't seem so surprised."
Don't seem so surprised.
Marauder comes down, gets him off the water. Which, how many boats do you think the batch has wrecked? They should
7.
not be allowed on water. I'll go
7.
with 7. Crosshair is like, "I am a gentleman," and gives his hand to Ventress, and she reluctantly takes it and gets lifted up onto the Marauder.
Didn't seem amused at all, though. Like, I thought, like, I had a brief second there, like, maybe they're going to have a moment.
And nope.
No. New
Not at
power
all.
couple? No, not at all.
Next thing you know, they're back at Ventress's cave hideout. She's on top of their ship. And they're kind of just standing around while Omega's playing, and Ventress walks up to him. And Omega's like, "Hey." Like, "Did you figure out? Do I have a high M count?" Ventress looking at her feelings, her fingers, and she's like, "From what I've seen, nope."
3 count. You got 4 M's.
4 M's.
Yeah, that's all that I counted them.
Shit. And then Ventress or Omega's like, "Do you know why the Empire's going after me?" And Ventress is like, "Nope, no clue. But
Don't know anything.
consider
Liar!
yourself lucky." Yeah. And Omega's like, "I'm already a target." Wrecker comes out. "Don't worry, kid. We're going to find out. Come on, let's go. Let's go get some chow." Of course, Wrecker wants some chow.
Yeah. Oh, I'm hungry.
"I'm hungry."
Who wants calamari?
Who's got the squid butthole? Who's got the squid butthole?
Do you fry that or do you like marinate it? Yeah. How do you
Wrecker just takes it straight from the source.
eat the squid butthole?
And she's
Soaked
like,
in vinegar? Probably vinegar.
"Probably vinegar."
You got you want some pickled squid butthole.
So good.
Pickled
Omega
squid
walks off
butthole and
with-
mimosas on a fine Saturday morning.
While watching cartoons.
Cartoons.
She sends off Wrecker and Omega, and who was it? Was that Hunter or Crosshair?
I don't know.
Let's look. One of them
Hunter and
says,
Crosshair are
"You're
staying.
lying." It's Crosshair. She's like, "You're lying." And she's like, "Which part?" And Hunter's like, "You tell us." And she's like, "Oh, well, Omega did have the potential. If she did have the potential, she'd have to be trained, which would mean leaving you behind because you guys are worthless clone logs."
Mhm.
Hunter's like, "That's never happening." She's like, "What you want's irrelevant. The fact is the Empire is after her and they won't stop." She's telling them how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. She really like digs deep in her neutralness right here, or
Yeah.
at least her appearance of being neutral.
She's like, "If I were you, I'd get out of here." And she's like, "Our business is done." She's like, "See ya, suckers."
Later, nerds.
Nerds. And Hunter's like, "You're not worried about the Empire coming after you?" And Ventress like, "They can try." And I love that. But I've got a few lives left. And she does the slow turn.
Mhm.
Hunter and Crosshair look at each other. And with that, Ventress, gets in her ship, takes off.
We missed that line where Crosshair said, "I still can't figure out what side you're on." She's like, "My own."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's important too.
Because she is. I mean,
She really is. Well, she's in the ship's flying off. And boom, gone.
boom.
Would you?
It's magic.
She flies off, and that's literally it for the episode.
So it's cool to get to see her. Such a cool character.
I do like
of
Ventress.
she was in, several episodes of Clone Wars, but like if you go to her Wikipedia page, not her only Sith page, that's a different, you got to pay.
Only Sith. It's behind a Death Star firewall.
Mm-hmm. But there is a ton of information on her. Like it would probably take longer to read all this than how long that episode itself was. And so she's got a lot of lore behind her, lots of things. Yeah, it's I need to read through it all actually. And because she had like all of her appearances. Let me get all the way back down here. We have her, her Clone Wars appearances. And also in several video games. Looks like it says Star Wars Adventures, the Clone Wars Battle Tales, comics. So lots of comics. Comics and short stories. My web browser is acting up. There we go. A lot of the comics.
Mm-hmm. Books. You said
Books.
So
if you want-
Ventress is she's a very interesting character. I have always liked Ventress.
Yeah.
And she's
Here's
a
the
badass.
Lost
She
Night
really is.
Sister. Bad Batch. Fallen Order. Mentioned at Galaxy's Edge. And
Yeah,
was also
I
mentioned
think
in
that they've
Ahsoka.
seen her. I think she's been at Galaxy's Edge before.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then some non-canon stuff. Lots of non-canon stuff. So yeah, lots of info out there on her. Probably worth a read.
Yeah, no, it is. Ventress is a great character. I'm pretty sure Ben likes her too.
Well, she's that whole thing about her, the meaning behind the yellow lightsaber, about it being balanced. I mean, she's neither Sith nor Jedi. And I think we kind of it's really easy to get caught in that whole thought of individuals that are force sensitive and powerful are
Right.
either Sith or Jedi. And, we lose sight of that, the Jedi side being an actual, really kind of a religion,
Right.
and not necessarily a character trait, I guess you could say. And so seeing people like her that have had some training, but have decided to stay basically neutral, those are very interesting individuals to me, because they don't, subscribe to one side or the other.
They ride the fence.
They ride the fence, or, and even though that whole riding the fence thing feels more Sithy, I guess you could say, than taking a stand.
Because they toe the fence. It's not like they're gray Jedi, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because gray Jedi ride that fence. They're neither dark nor good, and they could do both actions.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
She just does not. She doesn't identify as either.
Shit,
Cool.
how do you identify? Sith.
Sith. Papers,
Don't worry
please.
about it. But yeah, that was that episode. It was a good episode. I really liked that episode.
I did too. For one of the episodes when there wasn't a whole lot of action and things going on, because we've talked about that. Like, some of the really action heavy ones are hard to talk about. This one was really interesting because we got to, again, see another cool character. We got to see a little bit more into how others use the Force, with her talking about the connection with, like, other beings and animals and stuff like that.
Right.
And we got to see a really cool, powerful character take on 3 of the Bad Batch at once and dominate them.
Like, it wasn't even a contest.
No.
So, yeah. But what do you all think? Let us know.
Mhm.
I said we're gonna try and provide. We're supposed to have another round of bad storms tomorrow night, so we'll see if Kyle gets internet still.
If it hits tomorrow night, we should be good by the next recording date. So
yeah, and like I said, we're gonna try and record a little more. No promises at this point.
Yeah,
life happens.
Life happens.
So, all right. With that, this has been Every Man's Guide to Nerddom. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. Wherever you guys are, have a good evening, nighttime, morning time, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And please be good to each other.
Stay fresh, cheese bags. See ya.
Rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made up